Hello, everybody. It was day 2 of the NFL draft, and the Seahawks took 3 players, but not before some wheeling and dealing from GM John Schneider.
The Hawks made a couple of trades today, and the first had them moving up for a player they really wanted. Mike FERRERI is here with the details of that. Mike?
Yeah, you never know what John Schneider is going to do, right? Every day is kind of out there for him to go ahead and, paints his canvas, so to speak. Now, giving up draft picks to trade up in the draft is something Seahawks GM John Schneider normally does not do, but the Seahawks need significant help on the defensive line, so they moved up in the draft today to get Darrell Taylor, a defensive end out of Tennessee. They traded their pick at 59 and today's third rounder to move up to number 48. Taylor, 6'4", 267 pounds, likes to get after the quarterback. Taylor rushes with a plan, and that plan often finishes with him getting his hands on the quarterback. He had 8.5 sacks last season.
It's exciting because they traded up to get me, so that means they must really wanted me, and I think I couldn't thank them enough for it, and I'm just ready to get to work. I'm excited they picked me to be their pass rusher and be a part of their organization, and I'm just ready to show them what I got.
So overall, the Seahawks were supposed to take those 3 players. They had a second pick on the day, but they traded down to get him. So they take offensive lineman Damian Lewis out of LSU earlier in the 3rd round. He won a national title with the Tigers. Lewis is 6'2", 327 pounds, and will join an already very crowded room of offensive linemen for the Seahawks. 19 Seahawks on the roster. He could be the eventual replacement for DJ Fluker, who has a year left on his contract. So 4 times the Seahawks have traded up in the first 3 rounds to get players they really wanted. Tyler Lockett, Jaron Reed, and DK Metcalf last year. This year, it's Darrell Taylor. I'm joined by former Seahawks receiver Michael Bumpus and our own Femi Abebefe. We begin with Michael. We said yesterday, Mike, that they needed a defensive end. They got one. Was it worth the trade today?
I really think it was worth the trade. If they wanted to get this guy and they wanted to move up to get him, why not go get him now? I look at this kid play. He's very versatile. He's played in a 3-4 defense. He's played in a 4-3 defense. He's played linebacker. He's one of a few players who's had 8 sacks the past 2 seasons in the SEC. So we all know the talent that's in the SEC. It's all about necessity and getting your guy at this point. All the big names are off the board. Now it's just about filling these spots. I'm glad that they went and got Darrell Taylor. I thought they were going to get AJ Espinosa, but didn't go that route. I'm satisfied with it. I like the way he bends the corners. If there's a negative about this kid, he has to learn how to fire off the football and get counter moves going once he gets locked up with an offensive lineman. But all in all, I'm not mad at this pick.
That's awesome. I hope he does definitely take care of some of that and is an impactful player in the defensive line. Now, Femi, they had the final pick in the 2nd round, 64, but the Seahawks traded down. They moved 5 back and into the 3rd round at 69, and they pick up a 5th rounder way down there at 148. That'll be tomorrow. So, Femi, they picked Damian Lewis, who blocked for Heisman winner Joe Burrow, LSU. It was an area of need, right?
Yeah, it was an area of need, Mike. We've seen really kind of right before our eyes this reconstruction of this offensive line. You take a look at the depth chart here. You mentioned it earlier, Mike. 19 offensive linemen, B.J. Finney, Brandon Shell, Chance Warmack, just a few names of guys that they've taken. But those guys are not on long-term contracts. So think of Lewis as a core piece to this offensive line. We know the Seahawks love to run the football. Well, this is a guy who can help them accomplish that. Scouts and draft experts say Lewis is an absolute road grader in the run game, and he plays with a competitive chip on his shoulder. He played for a junior college his freshman and sophomore season before starting all 22 games at right guard while at LSU, and he certainly adds competition to the O-line room as the Hawks have 9 guards under contract. You mentioned it earlier, Mike. He might be a potential replacement for DJ Fluker. We'll see how it all unfolds. The Seahawks, though, love competition, and they have it now in the interior offensive line with Damian Lewis. Mike?
All right, guys, we'll hear more from you later on in the hour. And my mea culpa, I got ahead of things on the draft. I wrote an intro early for Eric. Right. I said 3 picks. I was all excited. I was changing things left and right with all those trades. Thanks, John Schneider. Eric was not wrong. They picked 2 players. I thought they were going to have 3.
You write it,
go ahead. Just go ahead.
Get away from me. 6 feet.
6 feet.
All right,
sorry. I'm out of here.
See you, Mike.
See you.